When your hands work perfectly, you probably don't even notice how much you rely on them. You use them to process and package food without a second thought. But if your hands, wrists, or fingers are injured, you'll quickly realize just how much you need them. Every day, workers sustain life-altering hand, wrist, and finger injuries. In food processing and handling facilities, there are a number of ways you can hurt them. You can crush your hands in a piece of equipment, burn or freeze them, or suffer an ergonomic injury from doing the same tasks over and over. Not to mention, your hands can be exposed to harsh chemicals, grease, and oils that come with food processing work. Luckily, there are ways that you can prevent these types of injuries. With the right equipment, preparation, and safe work practices, you can keep your hands, wrists, and fingers safe. In this program, we'll discuss how your hands work, the hazards that they can face, and how to avoid or protect yourself from them. Our hands have the strength, dexterity, and sensitivity to grasp, lift, and manipulate objects of many shapes and sizes. That's because they are designed very efficiently. The 27 bones that give the hand and wrist their structure are connected by muscles, ligaments, and tendons, which is what allows the hands to move and gives them strength. The nerves in the hand not only provide sensation, but tell the muscles when and how to move as well. They are also responsible for the muscle memory that lets you do repetitive tasks like packaging and sealing product without having to think about it. Blood vessels feed the tissue in the hand, and the whole system is covered by layers of skin which shield your nerves, bones, and blood vessels from your environment and its threats. But there's only so much that skin can do to protect that system. All of the tissue in the hand and wrist is close to the surface. The bones in the hand are small, and its joints can be complex. So you are just one slip of a knife or slicer away from causing serious damage to your hand, wrist, or fingers. In fact, any heavy, sharp, or hot object or surface can injure your skin, nerves, connective tissue, and bone. But it isn't just injuries from traumatic accidents you have to worry about. Your hands are also vulnerable to stresses and strains that can cause injuries gradually. These are called ergonomic hazards. The wrist, for example, is an ergonomic weak spot. Nerves, muscles, tendons, ligaments, and blood vessels pass through it on their way to the hand, and placing extra strain on the wrist can damage all of these over time. So to keep your hands, wrists, and fingers safe, you need to watch out for ergonomic hazards that can hurt you as well. Hand, wrist, and finger safety starts before you even begin working. It can be easy to rush into a task, especially when you're on a deadline. But failing to prepare before doing a task that uses your hands, wrists, and fingers can slow you down permanently. Before you start any task, you should first ask yourself if you're in the right state of mind to work safely. If you're feeling angry, you're more likely to get hurt. So if you're upset, take a minute to cool off, then refocus on the task at hand. Human error occurs most often when workers are distracted. From checking your phone to talking with coworkers, being distracted can have serious consequences for your hands. So before you take on a task, make sure your head is in the game. Next, take a good look at your facility. Identify any hazards that could affect your hands and do what you can to eliminate or control them. For example, pinch points are a common problem. These are the spaces between two moving machine parts or objects that your hands or fingers could get caught in. In your facility, you should look out for things like conveyor belts, chains, loose pipes, and closing freezer doors, so you can avoid them as you work. You'll also want to keep an eye out for any spinning equipment. It's easy to get a sleeve, bracelet, or ring caught in them. Be aware of any hot or cold surfaces as well, especially when you don't have protective gloves on. One wrong move and your hands could be burned or frostbitten. If your facility uses automated machines for palletizing, labeling, or other tasks, don't assume you can trust them just because they do the work on their own. If they malfunction or start unexpectedly and your hands are in the way, you could be seriously injured. If you've never worked with a tool or completed a specific task before, ask a coworker or supervisor to walk you through it. Trying to perform a new task often has a learning curve when you are more likely to make mistakes, which can lead to a hand or wrist injury. So it's best not to do something on your own the first time.
It's kind of intimidating. Do you have any
The best way to protect our hands, wrists, and fingers from injury is to prevent accidents from happening in the first place. That means paying attention to the basics and never forgetting that safety is your #1 priority. When in doubt, consult your tool user's manual or talk to your supervisor. You should always inspect powered equipment before working with it. Look for dents, scratches, and frayed wires. Never use a tool or equipment if it is worn, dull, or broken. You might be tempted to use a dull tool instead of hunting down a new one, but dull and worn tools require you to apply extra force. And the more force you use, the more likely the tool is to get out of control, which can result in an injury. For tools or equipment that use guards or other safety devices, check that they are in place and fully functional. You might feel like a guard is inconveniencing you or slowing you down, but a little additional time is a small price for your hands' safety. Guards and other safety devices can't protect you if they've been damaged or removed. When you begin to work, remember to pace yourself. Hurrying can result in taking risky shortcuts that can increase the chance of an injury. A deliberate and steady approach will help you keep track of what your hands and fingers are doing at all times. That way you can keep them clear of sharp edges, pinch points, moving parts, and other hazards, which is how you finish a task safely. When you're lifting crates of food, pieces of equipment, or other heavy items, take your time and make sure you have a good grip on anything before picking it up. The closer your hands are to the bottom of the object, the better. Then, bend your knees and use your legs to lift. Carry the object with both hands and close to your body. If it starts to feel too heavy or your fingers are slipping, stop immediately and set it down. The last thing you want is to strain a muscle or hurt your hand trying to catch a falling object. Sometimes, despite all the precautions you take, you can still injure your hand. If you do, seek medical care immediately. Even if the injury seems minor, it could become more severe as time goes by. The sooner you are treated, the better.
ergonomics
Ergonomics is the study of how we can work more efficiently and safely by minimizing discomfort and fatigue. Ergonomic hazards are situations or processes that can force the body to move in ways it isn't designed to. Ergonomic hazards often don't cause immediate injuries, but over time they can result in painful and debilitating conditions such as carpal tunnel syndrome, repetitive motion syndrome, and tendinitis. To prevent these injuries, you need to avoid things such as working in awkward positions, repetitive motions, and applying excessive force either manually or with a tool. Repetitive motion is making the same movements over and over again without a break. If your work involves repetitive motions, you should insert other tasks into your routine throughout the day to vary the movements that you make. If you find yourself working in an awkward position, stop what you're doing and try to find a less stressful way to get the job done. When you're using your hands, keep your wrists as straight as possible. This neutral position will allow the tendons to slide easily through their sheath, preventing strain and damage. To achieve a neutral position, you may need to change your overall body position by standing up or sitting down. Or you could reposition the material that you're working with, turning it, raising it, or lowering it. Sometimes using a differently sized or designed tool can also help you get into a more natural posture. To avoid using excessive force when you're working with a tool, you first need to understand the two types of grips your hands can make. For tasks that require strength, such as using a hammer or meat saw, you should curl your fingers, palm and thumb around the object. This is called the power grip. It distributes the weight of the object evenly over the muscles and tendons of the entire hand and allows the wrist and forearms to help carry the load as well. When you need a delicate touch, such as with using a temperature probe or twisting a small screwdriver, you'll want to use a precision grip, which brings the ends of the thumb, middle, and index fingers together around the object. But if we try to use the precision grip for tasks that require power, we will end up applying excessive force to try and get the job done, which can injure our hands, wrists, and fingers. Another situation where we can find ourselves applying excessive force is when we try to overpower a stuck or heavy object, manually or with a tool. None of these situations are safe or healthy. So if you find yourself using excessive force while performing any task, stop what you're doing before you hurt yourself and find a way to get the job done without straining. Choosing the right tool for the job can be very important when it comes to protecting our hands, and it means more than using a hammer to drive nails and using a saw to cut wood. Tools come in all shapes and sizes. The right tool is the one that fits you as well as the job you're doing. The shape, size, and feel of the handle on a tool can be very important in preventing strains and other injuries. A handle that is too short for your hand can damage nerves, tendons, and blood vessels by placing excessive pressure on the palm. To prevent this damaging localized pressure, you should choose tools with handles that are longer than the widest part of your hand. For a safe, strong grip, the handles should also be thick enough for the end of the thumb to just cover the ends of the index or middle fingers. Handles should be free of sharp edges or finger grooves as well. Handles that are padded with soft or grippy material are often a good choice. They are comfortable, easier to control, and help absorb shock. Make sure that the handles on your tools will allow you to keep your wrists straight as you use them. Working with your wrist in a bent position can injure the nerves, muscles, and other connective tissues that pass through it. So be sure to try tools out before you use them to confirm that they fit you well. Powered equipment requires the same type of examination as hand tools. Make sure that the handles are comfortable and fit your hand. They allow you to work with a straight wrist and power grip whenever possible. And their power switches and safeties are easy to operate. Some powered equipment can vibrate hard enough to damage the hands that hold it. Band saws, mixers, pressure washers, and a number of other tools have this potential. Over time, these vibrations can lead to a condition known as hand-arm vibration syndrome. This begins with a tingling and loss of nerve sensation and can develop into a painful and potentially debilitating condition. To protect your hands when using these types of tools or equipment, you should limit the amount of time you work with them. Avoid gripping the tool too hard. Try not to force the tool. Let it do the work. And wear gloves that are designed to absorb as much vibration as possible. Whenever you work with tools or powered equipment, you should monitor yourself continuously. Tingling, numbness, or feelings of discomfort in your hands, wrists, and fingers could indicate the start of ergonomic problems. If you notice any of these symptoms, let your supervisor know about them immediately. One of the simplest and most effective ways you can protect your hands and fingers from injury is to put on a pair of gloves. But it's important to remember that not all gloves are created equal. You need to choose the ones that will give you the best protection from the specific hazards that you encounter while you work. For instance, light packaging work can cause scratches and blisters, but you only need a basic pair of cloth gloves to protect you from these hazards. Gloves made of leather are more durable and can protect you from materials with rough or splintery surfaces. Sharp-edged tools and materials can cause painful cuts and scratches, but cut-resistant gloves made of metal mesh or similar tough materials can guard against this. Since food processing facilities often involve working with hot pieces of equipment, you should wear heat-resistant gloves made of aluminized fabric or other special materials if your job exposes you to them. Gloves made of rubber, vinyl, or neoprene can protect your hands from corrosive substances, such as organic fluids, lyes, and petroleum products, as well as oil and grease. And disposable gloves made of latex, nitrile, and polyethylene can shield you from biological hazards such as germs, bacteria, and viruses. Whatever types of gloves you wear, you need to make sure that they fit properly. Gloves that are too large will feel clumsy and can snag in machinery. Gloves that are too small can tire your hands and can tear or split as well. Always inspect your gloves for rips and other defects before you put them on. If you find any problems, don't use them. Get yourself another pair. Remember, no one type of glove can protect your hands in every situation, and no gloves will protect you if you don't wear them. As we've seen, our hands, wrists, and fingers can encounter a number of hazards in food processing and handling facilities. but there are safe work practices and protective equipment you can use to avoid injuries. Let's review. Protect your hands by preventing accidents before they happen. Always follow safe work practices and stay focused on what you're doing. Avoid ergonomic hazards such as repetitive motions, working in awkward positions, and using excessive force when you're performing any task. Choose tools that fit you and the task that you're doing, and use them in ways that place the least stress on your hands, wrists, and fingers. Never try to operate a tool that you are unfamiliar with or that has been altered or damaged. And wear gloves that are designed to protect you from specific hazards that you encounter in your job. Now that you understand the hazards that can affect your hands, wrists, and fingers, and know how to avoid and protect against them, you can go home pain-free at the end of every day.